Hey, what it do, y'all? It's your boy E2 Blue coming back at you again on a Friday. It's Friday. Shout out to the big homie Shamira Parker. She like when I say that. It's Friday. Yeah. Are we gonna have a season? That is the big question. Are we going to have a season? Yes? No? Maybe so? I don't know. But guess what? Look, I'm optimistic about it. I try to stay positive when it comes to that. But, some of these players openly said, hey, I don't want to play. And hey, look, they don't want to put themselves in harm's way. I get it. And the NFLPA came out and said that they were giving them the leeway to not play this season if they don't want to. So if players actually start to do that, that could change the whole dynamic of what the NFL is going to do and what they're forced to do. Now, think about it. If we don't have a season this year, there's no revenue for this year. So I don't know how that works. Like, does that money hold over for next year? I don't know. But this economy is already in hell right now. Think about it. A lot of the stuff that we buy on a regular basis comes from China. We got beef with China. So China's, a lot of things have stopped. So if you guys have been trying to order things online and notice that it comes really late or it don't come at all sometimes, it's because of what's going on in the world right now. This is real. And, I'm not gonna get too much into it, but you guys know what the deal is. But I just pray that sometime at some point we can get back to some normalcy, because it's stressful, it's frustrating, sometimes it's depressing, because you're just like, I want to do something. It makes you wonder, like, so many things that we took for granted that we do on a normal basis. And, without having certain things, you're like, damn, like, I really miss that. You know what I mean? It's something small. I'm like, I miss that. But, we gotta stay strong and stay alive. That's the biggest thing right now, because, people are dropping like flies, and you just gotta stay prayed up. That's all you can do, is stay prayed up. But as far as football goes, we don't know what's going to happen. I'm still doing my videos as if we're still having a season. But hey, if we don't have a season, not only does that impact the teams, the players, the fans, but it impacts us as YouTubers as well, because hell, my numbers are trash right now. Ain't nobody watching my videos. I don't even know why I'm still doing videos. Ain't nobody watching these videos. My numbers used to be great during the season, but I like I said, I understand it's the off season, but I know a lot of people are tuned out, because it's like, what are we gonna do? It's like some people don't want to get excited and then get let down in September when they finally make the announcement that we're not gonna have a season. I hope that's not the case, but they've already cut the preseason games. They cut the Hall of Fame game that the Cowboys were supposed to play the Steelers in, so that's already out. But nonetheless, I did want to talk about another position in the breakdown. So last week, you go back and look at that video, I talked about the defensive ends with DeMarcus Lawrence being the leader of that crew, things of that nature. But now I want to talk about same thing in that sector, but this time the defensive tackles. Now, why did I do two separate videos on this? Because defensive tackles are different than defensive ends. Their jobs are different. Everything that they do is different. You got some guys that are versatile, that can kick in and kick out. A lot of people that don't know football don't know the difference. So, that's what we're here to do. Educate and entertain. That's what it's all about. So, as I've been talking about this team, and first of all, before I start getting into the different players that we do have on this roster for the defensive tackle position, I do want to say first, what about Don Terry Poe? Don Terry Poe came out and said, when the media talked to him, he basically said that if they have a season this year, he plans on kneeling. which is interesting because I don't have a problem with it. A lot of people don't understand the purpose of it and then the reason why certain players were kneeling. It ain't got nothing to do with the flag. It ain't got nothing to do with disrespecting the flag. I hate when people bring that up. Like, nobody's disrespecting the United States. We all love America. But we all are actually fucking it up. Excuse my French. But let's be frank. We talk all this crap about the flag, but we're actually disrespecting the flag right now. Anyway, I mean, by racism. That's disrespecting the flag. America is home of the free, home of the brave. It ain't that. But I'm not going to get into that. But y'all know the deal. I need you guys, talking about the media, those of you guys that think certain things about certain things, before you blurt off in anybody's chat, in anybody's live stream, in anybody's channel, on anybody's comments, on anybody's social media platform, do your fucking research. Excuse my language, but it just gets me pissed off when people blurt things out and say things that don't know what the hell they're talking about. If you don't know something, ask somebody that's a part of that certain situation. And y'all know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what it is, ask. Do research. This is 2020. Google magic. Stop listening to these random ass outlets. Stop listening to these different individuals that just come up with something because they're probably on drugs any damn way. But anyway, let me get off of that because that's gonna piss me off a whole nother level. Anywho, let's get back to loving each other like how we're supposed to, right? Don Terry Poe said that he plans on kneeling this year. Okay. And he also called out Jerry Jones, basically saying that, need you to speak up for us, bruh, in so many words. Say something. So, if you want my opinion on there, my honest opinion, and normally I don't put too much of my opinion in there. I normally just spit the facts. But if you want my honest opinion about it, I'm kind of... So let's look at Jerry Jones. And on this channel, I like to bring something to the table that you guys are probably not thinking about. And that's my job. And I feel like I'm good at doing that because I look at things from whole different angles. I'm not a one-sided thinker. I think of things from every aspect that it possibly could be. So, with that being said, you look at Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is what, 77 years old? He has less life ahead of him than most of us. I hate to say that. I mean, that's the easiest way I could say that. Jerry's old. We know that. We know where Jerry comes from. We know that Jerry Jones is in that upper echelon of just rich. Just filthy rich. So his level of thinking is going to be different than other people. I don't think Jerry Jones is racist. I never thought that. And I know some people that say to me, how am I a Cowboy fan because I have a racist owner? You don't know what you're talking about. Shut the hell up. If Jerry Jones was racist, do you think that a lot of these black players that was on this team in the early years, in the 80s, in the 90s, would have got those big contracts if he was racist? So, of course, these are people that are not fans anyway. They don't pay attention to Cowboys, say they don't know. Half of these people, I know more about their football team than they do. And they get mad at that. So they try to attack my team. But anywho, nonetheless, me personally, I think that Jerry Jones being quiet is probably good for him. Because Jerry Jones knows. And I'm gonna bring a couple of different angles to you. I don't know for sure. But I'm just saying that the reason I'm thinking he's not saying could be one of two things. Or maybe both. Again, he knows that every time he says something, it's criticized. Like, they hang on every piece of word he says. When he was talking about the glory holes and the mosquito fly on a mosquito's ass or whatever he was saying, and all the other little sayings, and thinking about Dez Bryant in the shower. All the things he says that doesn't really mean it the way that it's portrayed. We know what he thinks, but we know how he's thinking it. But the media misconstrues everything and just puts that out there in a different light. So it makes it seem like, oh, well, he thinks this way, but you really don't know. Nobody knows. I don't know. You don't know. So I'm not going to sit here and assume. So I'm just going to just put out some scenarios. Maybe him not saying anything is probably a good thing. But I'm also going to give you a caveat to that, because that's what I do on this channel. I give you different things to think about. I give you the thought, and it goes in your mind, and you just feed off of that, and you just figure out on your own. So that's one thing, because he knows that he's going to get criticized for saying anything, and maybe he doesn't understand about Black Lives Matter or what's going on. He's not black, so he's never been racially profiled. He doesn't know that. You know what I mean? Like, my white friends tell me all the time, oh, I would never know what it's like to be racially profiled, but from talking to you, I'm sensitive to the situation. That's all I care about. Just understand it and be sensitive to it and care about what's happening. That's it. It's not about anything else. It's not about a cult. It's not about whatever the hell Marxist, whatever the fuck that is. I don't even know what that is. People talk about some crazy stuff that doesn't even exist when it comes to that. But, you know, but that's the whole narrative. That's the whole reason for it. You know, if you don't understand something, talk to somebody that's going through it. It's just like being poor or homeless. I'm not homeless, so I don't know what it's like to be homeless. But if somebody that is, and I'm talking to this person, I'm going to sympathize because they're going through a tough time. And just like with any other situation when you're going through a tough time, you should be there for that individual in that tough time. I'm just saying. That's the problem with Americans right now. We don't care about each other. We don't give a damn about nobody but ourselves. We live in a narcissistic world right now, and it sucks ass. It really does. I don't like it. But, you know, he called out Jerry Jones, and I feel like maybe Jerry just didn't want to say anything because, he knows he's heavily scrutinized because he's the owner of the Dallas Cowboys. That's one. Two, maybe Jerry just doesn't know what to say. Like I said, he's not black. He's never gone through that. He doesn't know anything about that. Maybe he just doesn't know what to say. The last thing, and I want you guys to take this. What I think he should do is not when the media is around. Like, screw the media for a second. You know, I got my degree in broadcast comm. I'm technically a media person too, but I don't like a lot of the stuff that they portray. It's just, everything is just clickbait. I hate it. It really sucks. And technology is to blame for that because cameras are everywhere. What I think Jerry should do is come to his players. You know, what, 80% of your team is black. Come to your team. Have a team meeting, even with the white players or what other ethnicity the players are. Spanish, whatever. Bring all your players together. The whole team. Practice squad, everybody. Have a private meeting in the locker room with these guys. Sit down and talk about it. Jerry speaks. He listens to what the players are dealing with. And then he supports them in a private setting. That's how it should be. Think about it. And I know you guys will agree with me when I say this. It ain't got to be in the media. Too many times with this Dallas Cowboy team, it's like we have to put shit into the media. You don't have to put everything out there in the world for them to know that. It can be in private where these guys are talking and Jerry Jones is showing his support to his players. That's it. It don't have to be on ESPN. It ain't got to be on First Take. It ain't got to be for Speak for Yourself. It ain't got to be on none of those platforms. It ain't got to be on my channel or any other Cowboy YouTuber channel. It could be in private with them. And I'm all for that. I'm all for that. And I think that that's what Jerry should do. And I think that maybe when, you know, the players can come back and everybody's together, he might do that. Maybe that's what he's waiting for. Who knows? We don't know. But I'm not going to criticize Jerry right now because I don't know the situation going. I'm not there. I'm not in Texas. I'm not on his yacht. I'm not at his residence. I'm not at the Star. So I can't sit here and tell you and speak for him and criticize the man, and I don't even know what's going on, because I think that's really stupid for you to criticize somebody and not know what the hell is going on. That's the dumbest thing in the world. Think about it. That ain't common sense, and we need to have more of it. So going forward, we talk about Don Terry Poe. Don Terry Poe is a player. him and Gerald McCoy. Gerald McCoy is more than likely going to play that 3 tech. Dontari Poe's that 1 tech. Starting. That's your starters in the inside. Ooh, yes. I love it. I love every bit of it. From what Mike Nolan said and from what Jim Tomsula said, they're going to go with a rotational defensive line with the ends and the defensive tackles, which should bode well for this team. Now, one thing that I'm really loving right now is this young guy that we drafted at number 75, Neville Gallimore. That is a man boy. That's a big sucker right there. Neville Gallimore. Did you see him when he got drafted? That boy, I immediately did push-ups when I saw this kid. I said, this little big dude. I went down and did some, I ran a mile. I did some sit-ups and push-ups. I was down there. And this is working out. I'm losing weight and I'm getting right. So thank God for that. But anywho, yeah, Neville Gallimore. He's gonna have a rotational piece in this. Tyrone Crawford. You guys been writing off Tyrone Crawford, but he'll be good at that 3 technique spot as a backup, as a rotational player. We need Tyrone Crawford, whether you guys think it or not. We do. Antoine Woods. When he was in the game before, when he got injured, he did a pretty good job as a starter. Now, he may not like being pushed back as a rotational player. He might not like that. But I think that for his sake, I think that it's going to keep him healthy. It's going to keep his motor up. And I think that you keep rotating these guys, you're not going to get much of a drop-off. Because you keep rotating these guys, everybody's coming in there fresh, and you got a good set of guys here. Antoine Woods can sit there behind Dontari Poe at that 1 technique. Then you got Tyrone Crawford at that 3 behind Gerald McCoy. Then you rotate Neville Gallimore in there. You rotate Justin Hamilton. Remember, we brought Justin Hamilton, but you guys probably don't even know who the hell Justin Hamilton is. Let me tell you who Justin Hamilton is. Justin Hamilton is a defensive tackle that we originally got from the Chiefs. But when we signed Michael Bennett, they waived him. After the season, they brought him back as a futures. So he quite possibly can make a team as a backup too. And also, let's not forget about Tristan Hill. We don't know where Tristan Hill is going to be. We don't know what the team thinks about Tristan Hill, because Tristan Hill is almost like the forgotten guy right now, because he doesn't have a sponsor anymore. The coaches that drafted him are not here anymore. So it's almost like everybody has a clean slate. So he better come in here and do something. I don't know what Tristan Hill is going to do, and I'm not going to count him out just yet, because, again, let's see what he can do. Maybe he just needs some confidence. It's just like that Blake Jarwin situation where you weren't playing him, so you didn't see what he was. Because I know a lot of people thought he was probably trash until they realized that, okay, maybe with the opportunity he could do something. So that's just how I feel about that. I love this defensive tackle position group that we have right now. Good group of guys. But it's funny how much a year changes. You don't have you lose Malik Collins. You lose Tristan Covington. You lose what's his name? Daniel Ross. Hell, all of them went to the Raiders. And I think Covington, where did Covington go? Did he go to the Chiefs? Covington went somewhere. Maybe to the Bears with he went somewhere in the Midwest. But yeah, so, or was it the Broncos? Yeah, he went to the Broncos. Yeah, so Tristan Covington's with the Broncos. Everybody else went to the Raiders. Like, our whole defensive tackles line went to the Raiders. They gonna look like the Las Vegas Cowboys. That's pretty much what's going on over there. But anywho, I liked Malik Collins. I think, but he was a little injury prone too sometimes, so it was kind of up in the air with him. But we'll see what happens. I like this defensive tackle position we got with Dontari Poe and Gerald McCoy leading the way. You got Neville Gallimore backing them up. You got Tyrone Crawford. You got Antoine Woods. You got Justin Hamilton. You got Tristan Hill. You got a good group of guys right there that can rotate and get in there and get it done. Let me know what you guys think about the defensive tackles on this team. Let me know what you guys think about just everything. Just whatever you want to talk about. If you guys are dealing with things at home, you got family members that need praying for. Hell, let's get the prayer line going. If you guys got some family members that need some prayer, put it in the comments section. And I'll charge all of the Cowboy fans to, you know, because we're supposed to be a family, right? Cowboys Nation. So, you know, no matter what color, religion, whatever we are, it doesn't matter. We are all family, and we are all the same. And that's what I believe on my channel. Regardless of how crazy this world is, that's what I want the togetherness on this channel. So thanks for you guys that subscribe to the channel. Shout out to my new subscribers, Miss Jamaica. She's one of the new subscribers. Shout out to her as well. Yeah, so, you know, just keep this thing rolling. New subscribers, don't be afraid. Go ahead, hit that notification bell. I know you've been creeping and watching the video, so go ahead and tap that thing a little bit, you know, to light up, But until then, in the meantime, between time, it's your boy E2 Blue. Always keeping it real. Talk to y'all soon.